Previously on Read with Ronald, we got this book right here because they was all like, oh, it's Waiting to Exhale for Men, right? And I'm like, well, I saw the movie. I ain't read the book, but I heard the movie was like the book, so I know I committed a sin, but still. You know what? Since people say this is Waiting to Exhale for Men, maybe he had Terry's editor.
I wasn't gonna get into it, but now we're gonna get into it. But I wasn't gonna get into it. He knows that I read. Was it Waiting to Exhale? It was Waiting to Exhale, or was it Stella? How
I
Stella
think it
got
was
her groove
Stella.
back? How Stella got her groove back, and he knows. I texted him because I love the movies, but the books. I should know when they Waiting to Exhale for Men. What? But the writing is not as terrible as Terry's. The story is better, but Terry writing, girl, it took me a lot to get through that book.
Tati had me reading a free sample of one of Terry's books, and I'm like, when is the sentence gonna end? Like, the sentence is the whole page. I'm like, this is like Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, like when he just had that one sentence as a whole paragraph, just going and going and going. I'm like, ma'am, commas, periods, semicolons, use them.
Something.
And then to make matters worse, I'm reading. Everybody's all like, oh, he's the Terry McMillan, the man Terry McMillan. He's got the male waiting to exhale. So with everybody being all he's Terry McMillan territory, da 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 this and da 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 that. What this right here say? What does that say right there? What that say? It says a brother in Terry McMillan territory. So you already know, after reading that mess, I come into this, I'm like, oh, no, I'm not doing this again.
Not another brother.
When I was looking for a black man to put on for the book swap I did with Tati back in December, I was looking. And if you know, then you know which disappointment was chosen for that book swap to be the attempt to put on for black men. And the book I considered using was In My Father's House, but I decided against it because I wanted to use The Disappointment instead, because somebody lied and said it was like Waiting to Exhale. So that's why I chose that book instead of going with In My Father's House. In fact, the book we doing next month, it's my turn. It's my turn, and Tati, I've already told her what she's reading, but she is not happy with me. She not happy with me. Just know our next book is gonna be some familiar faces, but it might not be in the form that you used to.
It's gonna be over. I'm gonna muscle through it. Yeah.
And it's only one book. It's okay. It's only one book.
I'm gonna muscle through it.
All right.
Just pray for me. Just pray. But y'all, if you've read it, then you know. If you haven't read it, then you don't know. Read it for yourself and check us out next month. Child.
She'll be all right.
Child, listen. We gonna get through it. I have faith. I do.
All right. Hi guys, welcome back to Read with Ronald. I have my special guest here today, Tati Simone. And like I told y'all last time, get used to her being here, because she's gonna be here every month. So don't come for me talking about some Ronald. Why you always got Tati on the channel? Because she's my friend. And she reads books. And I want her on my channel.
Listen.
And she's gonna be here every month. But Tati is not the only person in this video today. I also have my sister Anna in the video. So I'm here with my sister Anna. I'm here to ask her some questions on what she thought about the book and the movie. And yeah. And she was like, oh, you doing Waiting to Exhale? You should put me in the video. So I thought about it for a day. And then I was like, okay. So she's here. Here we are. And we're gonna be talking about Waiting to Exhale. Now, I asked y'all in the last video what y'all thought the next book was going to be, so I want to see how many of y'all guessed right. We bringing this one back out the vault, too, because we got to talk about both of them together. Because just like I got my sister in the video, brother and sister. brother and sister.
Apparently. Allegedly.
So we talking about waiting to exhale, and I got to tell y'all how I got this book. So we're gonna get right into it, okay? But before we get into this, I want to let you know that we are getting all into this plot. We are going all through it, through the book and the movie. So that's your spoiler warning. If you don't want to be spoiled on this book or movie, then I suggest you go ahead, turn the video off here. Thanks for watching up to this point. And who knows, maybe if you decide you want to come back and see what your thoughts are and if they match mine and Tati's after you get done reading and watching the movie, feel free.
You should have watched this movie, guys. A long time ago. And read the book maybe, but the movie you should already watch. But it's okay if you didn't, you know. I'm not judging.
I'm judging though.
So,
First published in 1992, Terry McMillan's Waiting to Exhale follows Savannah, Bernadine, Robin, and Gloria, four single black women in their 30s, searching for love and dealing with the trials of life. Waiting to Exhale is McMillan's third novel and spent over 38 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. A sequel, Getting to Happy, was released in 2010. Waiting to Exhale was adapted into a film in 1995. Y'all know I always start by telling y'all how I got this book. So, I got this book from my sister. Anna is the one who, when I wanted to read Waiting to Exhale, she's the one who gave me like her copy first before I went and bought my actual copy. So thank you, Anna.
Yeah, he's a hard book type of person. I like digital, it don't matter to me.
And her copy is like a digital copy. So I was like, you know what? I want my own hardcover copy for this video. So I went and bought my own hardcover copy. And my sister, she was like, so you had Waiting to Exhale and you weren't going to tell nobody. Got me sitting up here reading off an iPad and you weren't going to tell nobody that you had this book. And I'm like, I just bought it. I just bought it.
Because, like, I gave you my copy and you went and bought the hardcover.
Because I wanted a hard copy.
Yeah, we know.
But yeah, I got the book from her. And I gotta get into the reason why I chose Waiting to Exhale. Because Tati do not like reading Terry books. Because Terry is just a very wordy writer. But I chose Waiting to Exhale because, and I feel like this video was a long time in the making because, I mean, if you just
Mhm.
watch all our previous videos, what book always comes up?
Come on now.
So
Come on now.
we just had to I had to sacrifice my month and what I really wanted to read. I had to sacrifice that to choose Waiting to Exhale so we could just go ahead and see if it was because going back to Men Cry in the Dark, we had to see if Men Cry in the Dark was really Waiting to Exhale for men.
Come on now.
So Tati, what made you want to read Waiting to Exhale?
Ronald picked the book. Yeah. Yeah.
No, because you had it previously. So what made you get it the first time?
Oh, okay. I got it the first time because I love the movie. I love the movie. So I was like, let me read the book. So I got How Stella Got Her Groove Back and I got that one. I think I read How Stella Got Her Groove Back first because I had watched the movie. That was the movie I had watched most recently. So I was like, okay, I'll watch How Stella Got Her Groove Back. I mean, I'll read it. So that's why I got it. I got it because of the movies. The movies, of course, are great. So I thought the books were going to be great too. Oh, and this is also my second time getting this book because I got Hustle, got her groove back, and I got this book. And I was like, I'm not reading this book. After I got Hustle, got her groove back, I'm like, I'm not reading another Terry book. I'm not sitting through it. So I got rid of it. And Rhonda was like, hey, girl, hey, guess what we doing?
What made you decide to get the book Waiting to Exhale?
So I've always been a huge fan of Waiting to Exhale the movie. And I would say about 4 months ago, I discovered that there was a book. I know I'm late, but just knowing that, I was interested in seeing how they go, because usually they'll have the movie, then they'll have the book, and you'll have similar pieces in there, but the book drags out more. So I was interested in seeing how that went. And I'm not a big fan of reading, but I really wanted to challenge myself to find a book that I could read and, just expand this reading journey. So that's the one I chose. And I read it in 4 days. So that means it was a really good book.
She read it faster than I did. It took me a whole week. Today is March 8th. I've started reading Waiting to Exhale. Oh, Lord. Terry McMillan's writing is just... Okay. First of all, ma'am, come on. Periods, commas, M dashes, and semicolons. Let's use them. Number one. Number two, this book is 403 pages long. I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting more of like a 330 type page book. 400 plus pages long. That's how long the book is. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I gotta read all of this mess. In Terry's writing style. Once you get past her writing, the book is good. So I think I'll be able to make it. Plus, I've already seen the movie, so I already know the storyline for the most part. So I think I'll be able to do good and make it make no sense. It's March 11th. I'm about 1/4 of the way through Waiting to Exhale. Number one, I feel like what makes reading this book so easy is the fact that I've already seen the movie, so I pretty much already know the storyline. And number two, I'm gonna cut the people who said that Men Cry in the Dark was Waiting to Exhale for men some slack. I'm gonna cut them some slack because I see it with the book. I can see it with the book, and I'll elaborate more on that when we get to the discussion, but just know I see it with the book. So far, I'm willing to give this book a 4. Like Taté said, once you get past Terry's writing, the story is actually really good. So I'm willing to give the book a 4 right now on the basis of story, but if it was on the basis of writing, I don't know. I'm not really struggling so much with the writing, but I think it's because last year I read a lot of classic literature, and a lot of classic literature is like super over descriptive. So I feel like that's why I'm not having an issue with it as much. But we'll see. So far, I'm about 1/4 of the way through. It's going how I expected it to go because I've seen the movie, and the movie seems pretty faithful to the book apparently. So that's a plus for both. Today is March 14th. I am almost halfway through Waiting to Exhale. Story-wise, I've been enjoying it. Writing-wise, it's okay. Like, I'm not having as much trouble getting through the writing because I read a bunch of classic literature last year, so I'm still kind of used to reading wordy books, but good lord, Terry be using them words like it's nothing. But I am enjoying the book. I think the character that I'm relating to the most right now is Robin. Not necessarily her dating life, but what's going on outside her dating life. It's still pretty much like the movie. It is some scenes I'm starting to spot that wasn't in the movie though, that they're funny in their own way. So I'm glad there is some stuff in there that I can enjoy that I haven't already been exposed to. I am enjoying the book. I think it's going really well. Alright, so today is March 17th. I have about a little over 100 pages left on Waiting to Exhale. Robin has been working my nerves as far as her relationships go. Her options are Troy, Russell, and Michael. Troy, of course, is on drugs. Michael is playing games, if we're being honest, and Russell done went and got married on her. And he's the one she actually wanted, so now she all heartbroken, and I'm like, whatever, Robin. As far as her relationships go, she getting on my nerves. Because I'm reading this and I've already seen the movie before, the whole middle part of this book was cut from the movie, and that is interesting to watch because it's like, wow, they really just cut like the middle of the book. It just did the beginning and the end and just called it a day. But one thing I'm really upset that they cut was the Black women on the move storyline. That is such an interesting storyline. It gives the women something to do outside of their relationships. I'm sorry, when I read books, the last thing I be caring about is the relationships. I'm just gonna be honest. I care more about the characters and what they got going on as far as like being a person. So I really like the Black women on the move storyline in the book because it gives them something to do outside of their relationships. And so like, I got about 115 pages left. I will be done definitely by tonight. Today is March 18th. I finished reading Waiting to Exhale last night, and I finished watching the movie last night. It cut a lot of the stuff that I liked in the book from the movie, so the movie's more focused on the romance of the characters, and I like the book. Not better, but I like the book storylines because it focused more on the women and what they had going on outside of their romances. I'll get more into that into the discussion, but just know I finished the movie last night and I enjoyed it. I finished the book last night. I enjoyed it. Everything was enjoyable.
Now, this is gonna shock you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I I low key give this a 5. She low key ate. She low key ate with this book, and they're not gonna hold you guys. Like, I thought this was gonna be a rough one, and this was before Stella. I'm pretty sure this was before Stella, but yeah, I see the hype. She ate. She ate with this one. Even parts, I think that's what got her the 5 for me, because even parts where I was like, Lord Jesus, she about to be cliche. We about to do the same old, same old. She was like, no, ma'am. You thought you heard the story before. No, you didn't. And parts where it's like, oh yeah, I thought I knew this for the movie. She was like, oh, you thought because you watched the movie, you knew everything. Oh no. No, you didn't. Just to let you know. And it was still good. It was still good. Grammatic, the grammar was not that terrible. I ain't see too many typos. Um, a lot of words, because Terry, but this time I feel like it was much more being descriptive. And it was still very much, Terry has this way of writing where I'm not gonna get into the book too much, but this is the last thing I'm gonna say before I get through it. Terry has a way of writing how people talk, just like we're not gonna talk about it, but she has a way of writing how people talk. And I think it was executed a lot better in this book than it was in How Stella Got Her Groove Back. I think it was executed really well.
I gave this book a 4. I gave it a 4 because I was like, you know, y'all know in the past videos we've been like, oh Lord, Terry and her writing, Terry and her writing. But once you get past her Charles Dickens style of writing, the story it holds up. It's a good story. You're
Mm-hmm.
interested. And just for review, let's remind y'all what our ratings on Men Cry in the Dark were. And I'm gonna tell you the exact point. He got it too.
Y'all, y'all, this book is a 0. It's a 0 out of 5 for me. This book is a 0 out of 5 for me. And Ronald knows I wanted to like this book so bad. When he was like, it got a 2, I'm like, nah, it can't be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. It's not.
So just to be clear, I gave Men Cry in the Dark a 2, and I gave Waiting to Exhale a 4.
I gave Men Cry in the Dark a 0. Um, I can understand it if you give it anything other than a 2, though. I'm judging you. Um, but a 2 I understand, and then Waiting to Exhale is a 5. Yeah.
Let's get into this book. We started off with what I call woman number 1, because we did not learn her
Mm-hmm.
name. We did not learn her name until about 5 pages in.
Why did I write that down? Because I paid attention this time. Because I didn't pay attention the other way. I paid attention this time. I said, but here's the thing. I was like, I don't know who this is, but it sounds like Savannah.
Literally.
Here we go. I was like, I don't know who this is, but it sounded like Savannah.
That's one thing I will say about this book. A lot of people say that this book is very hard to figure out who's talking at times. But I feel like if you've seen the movie and you remember the storyline, after like the first 4 chapters, it's and even if you haven't seen the movie, if you just follow each girl's storyline, after them first 4 chapters, it's pretty easy to tell who's talking.
The person is gonna be the person doing the talking. Like the main person's like thoughts, because you'll see them writing their thoughts. That's gonna be whoever is the main person talking. So if it's like Gloria said and you and Gloria head, all the extra that's not in quotations is Gloria. Like it's
Like
it's simple
literally,
to me.
we start off with woman number 1, who we find out about 5 pages in is Savannah. And Savannah is the oldest of 4 kids, and she's single. She's 36 years old, and she's living in Denver, but she's getting ready to move down to Phoenix because she's tired of Denver. And so she takes her a pay cut, and she's going down to Phoenix to really to find a man. Let's be real. She's going down there to find a man.
She's bored. She needs a break. It's nothing in Denver.
But before she leaves Denver, her sister Sheila has set her up with this blind date for a New Year's Eve party with this guy named Lionel. Savannah has never seen him before. She don't know what he looks like, what he acts like. So she decides she gonna go to this New Year's Eve party and see if Lionel is something that she might could see a future with.
He is described as fine. So we waiting to see him. When she's there, it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, all the girls feel like she's trying to get their man or something. And the description is funny in this book because it's a very interesting description. Seeing like what the girls were supposed to be. But
Hmm.
she has like I feel like, and I think everybody in the book feels like she has like a chip on her shoulder. Like she feels like, of course, there's a such thing as not settling, but it's giving I'm the baddest and nobody can touch me. Like I'm just the baddest of them all. And I think this is where I got introduced, or where you get introduced to like the man and the not unrealistic standard, but the unrealistic feeling, the hopeless romantic. I was reading this book and it reminded me of myself in the sense of look, I was like, but in the sense of I I love 90s music, right? I'm a black romance girl. I love reading black romance novels. I love the 90s into early 2000s black romance books. And it gives you a like when you're reading those books, when you're looking for that spark, that feel, that joy. I feel like that's what Savannah's chasing. And so she's not really I think she's not even necessarily even looking at the standard of the man. She's just running after that feeling that honestly we not even sure if she's ever had.
Yeah, out of all of the women, Savannah was definitely the cynic. She was definitely the cynical one because she knew what she wanted. She was tired of going through bad relationship after bad relationship. So she knew what she wanted. And because she knew what she wanted, she wasn't willing to settle for less, unlike a certain other person in her life, which I'll get to in a minute. But so yeah, Savannah, she going to meet Lionel. He's 41. He's recently divorced, and he sell fire trucks. I didn't even know selling fire trucks was a career, but okay. But he sell fire
Yeah,
trucks. They like trying to contact each other for like 3 weeks, but they keep missing each other's phone call. And so finally they get in contact to go to this New Year's Eve party, and Savannah mama get on that phone and she started being irritating. And Savannah mama irritated me. Cause Savannah mama like, oh, you need to dress a certain way to catch a man and all this and that. And I'm like, mama, you're irritating.
my note was that Bernie was a little out of there, but the writing is much more bearable. Because some of the stuff that Bernie said to her was out of there. And I feel like even though she might have been the cynic, I feel like people were really harsh with her. But I feel like the people in this book talk a little harsh because it's like y'all don't want her to be like you kind of can see why she's focused on getting a man because everybody around her is like, you need to get a man. Birdie, time's running out. You need to get a man. Okay, Miss Bernadine. Okay.
We gonna get to you in a minute. So Savannah, she getting ready for this party, and she turned on the radio and she starts singing. And guess who was on that radio?
Take 3 seconds. Take 1, 2, 3. Come on now,
I
Miss
read that
Whitney
part,
Houston.
Miss Whitney Houston. I read that part. I was like, so Terry, did you did you have your people in mind when you was writing the book?
And let me tell you something. We said it before, we go say it again, that Whitney Houston, that Toni Braxton gonna be in every single book, every single time. Okay? Every single book, every single time. I'm like, I feel like her description of Savannah didn't fit Whitney Houston, but the essence of Savannah, I can see why they picked Whitney Houston. Hands down, I see why they picked Whitney Houston.
I don't know. When I was watching the movie and I saw Whitney, I was like, yeah, she kind of fits Savannah description a little bit. Yeah, so Savannah, she's getting herself together. She goes out to the party and she's makes herself a New Year's resolution.
She was gonna stop smoking and she wasn't gonna spend any more major holidays alone.
While she
Me.
thinking about that, she goes through her list of men that she's had. They were all trash except for Gerard. she said Gerard was the one that's basically got away. I don't remember why they broke up, but she basically says that's the one that like made her feel sparks.
He went to the army. She went to college. She never moved back home.
That's okay.
That's why she never moved back to. Was it Philly?
Yeah, like Philly, Pittsburgh, somewhere in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
she never moved back, and then she was like, "I wonder what would have happened if like I would have married him," because that's where she saw he was so respectful and nice and all these other things.
Yeah, so she get to that party. The women, like Tati said, they being catty. The men, they was paying her attention, but she was looking for Lionel. So then she finally finds Lionel. Lionel is everything Sheila said he was. And she's like, you know what? Even if this don't work out, just let me have a night of fun, Lord, please. And then she had her little night of fun with Lionel. And then here comes Denise. And Denise was a girl she met in the bathroom, and Denise was like, "Oh, girl, you look pretty in that dress." And so, Denise was being really nice to her in the bathroom. And then as soon as Denise seen her with Lionel, all of a sudden Lionel, you ain't danced with me all night. Come on.
Because imagine you just say hey to some random girl. You think, oh, she cute. You come out, she with your man. You cute, but you ain't that cute. What is you doing with my man? And why are you playing these games, Lionel? Like, why are you playing these games in the first place? That's rule number one. I know it's the 90s, but you literally invite them to the same party. I can see if you was like trying to two-time in the same town or something, but they're in the same place. They're gonna see each other, Lionel. Like,
And you know what? We should have caught on then that Lionel was not crap.
oh, I knew. I thought she was done. Miss I Got Standards. I thought Miss I Got Standards, I didn't sing it, I didn't done it. I thought she was done. But it is a reason for why she wasn't done. So I said, okay. And that's also when I first noticed that they was gonna be some judgmental people. Because she was like, she was like, oh, the girl be so pretty. Denise would be so pretty if she didn't have like the hair weave and like all that blush on. She off with some layers of the blush. And I was like, okay. We is these type of girls. Okay.
And so then Denise comes, she's still Lionel away, and Savannah like, you know what? If I make it home in time, I can catch Dick Clark. I don't even know why I came out here wasting my time. And
Exactly.
so then we get to Bernadine.
I absolutely love this part. Now, Terry does use a lot of words. We have already said this, but she brought us into the world. She brought us into the world, child. Because you don't know, like, I don't even know. Maybe she didn't been through it before. Because I'm like, I don't even know how you found the words to describe what this lady was going through. But it was some.
Bernadine is getting ready to go out with her husband John, and John is like, Bernie, I don't want to go with you. I want to go with my side piece Kathleen instead, a white woman. And the crazy part is, Bernadine does not even care really that he wants to go with another woman. She's just insulted that it's a white girl. She's insulted that it's Kathleen.
I think it's the combination of the girl is 20 something, 10 years younger than her, but
Mm-hmm.
also the idea that we've talked about of like that being better. Like you couldn't even get you like that being, and she's like, you're a bookkeeper. I was your bookkeeper. I started all of this, and you leaving me for this. I think that's what really burnt her the most was that just those feelings. Out of all the girls, Bernie came out the gate with the most emotion, the most feeling, the most. It was the point where it was like I didn't even hear what he was saying. It sounded like he was like tuned out. I couldn't even move. I couldn't say a word. Like it was so much going on. And again, it's the embodiment of like, child, because what do you think when your husband is saying he gonna leave you for a white woman and he's saying it like, oh yeah, I'm about to go get some Burger King. A man who basically you iron his drawers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you didn't put aside everything for this man. And then I love how she put in that part of like Bernadine, if she knew about this, she knew about that, she knew about that, she would have knew about this if she was looking at her finances. But she trusted John. So she didn't know about none of it. So we already hating John because we know he didn't do a world of stuff that she's not even aware of yet. She just her head still spinning, which speaks to the trifling man, because that man can't never. I'm trying not to mix it. I'm trying not to mix the movie with the story because I know we're gonna get to the movie. But
So she's like, my man is leaving me for a white woman. She's pissed. She start going off in her mind, and I was just having so much fun reading her going off because I'm like, all of these lines are in the movie. I'm hearing it in my head in the movie, verbatim, in an improvised scene.
what is that called? Research. Being an actor, being a creative, being a professional.
And so Bernie, like Tati said, she trusted John with all the finances and stuff, and she put her dreams on the back burner. She wanted to open a catering business, and John was like, "No, just put it off and wait until this year." Oh no! Every time she wanted to start the catering business, he come up with some excuse for why she couldn't open it, or he just get her pregnant instead.
And eventually it was 11 years later. And she did everything that he asked until last year, the year before, he asked her to have a baby. And she said, no, sir. Not doing it again. No, sir. Will not be doing it. And maybe that was the straw.
He literally want everything done his way, like their child, even their children's names. Like their son is named after him, but their daughter, she have a more African name, and John didn't want that. He's like, he wanted an old little Eurocentric name. Yeah, Eurocentric. That's how I put it.
Because, like a lot of professional men, especially during that time, um, that's the right way to be. That's the right way to be. I want everything that they have, which I think is what really that's what really probably set Bernadine off about it being a white woman, because knowing that it's probably not even about love, knowing that it's probably not even about this situation, it's just I want everything that those people have, and this is a part of what they have.
Yeah, so then we get into Bernadine and her time in Phoenix. That's how she met her friend Gloria, who's a hairdresser. And she also met her friend Robin, who be playing auntie to her kids because Robin is desperate to have a baby. And so Bernadine, she's like, I gotta get out this house. So she goes out the house, she go down to the gas station, and she is like slurring her speech because she done took 2 Xanax pills and she is not doing well.
She don't remember how she got home. Don't remember being asleep. Don't remember nothing. Okay. She was out. She said, I barely remember being at the store. Listen, because she couldn't take it. It wasn't real to her. She was like, I can't deal with this. She popped 2 of them in at one time.
And so then we get to woman number 3, Robin.
Robin, Robin, Robin.
Robin, she's overloved. She wants to be married. She's been dealing with this dude named Russell. Russell is trash. He is just trash. She wants Russell to marry her. Russell is playing games. She want to have a baby with Russell. Russell is playing games,
Everybody see it that he's stalling.
except her. And then on top of that, when Robin had all the clues in her face that this man was not serious about her, oh no, I'm just being paranoid. Oh no, that's not what's really going on. Oh no. Like, come on, Robin. Don't be a bird brain.
When the clues call her phone.
Call her phone and tell her she being stupid for taking him back. Do you know how embarrassing that is to have the other woman calling you, telling you you are stupid for taking him back, trying to encourage you to drop him?
And the other woman is low-key the original woman. You know how trifling a man has to be for the woman that he's with to be like, girl, you could do so much better. Get away from him. And y'all, she's going insane over this man. I'm saying co-signing cars. I'm talking about maxing out credit cards like she ain't got debt. I'm talking about backdating his insurance and
letting
getting him insurance.
letting him stay with her when the other woman put him out.
And that's
She
the only
just
reason why he came to get her. How you get him? What they say? How you get
how
him?
you get him is how
It's
you
how you
lose him.
lose him. Because you knew he was living with a woman. You thought that was just his friend? No, you didn't.
No, she knew because she said, "Oh, I didn't care that he was in a relationship."
And you expect this man to be faithful to you. You expect him to, and I don't even think she expected him to be faithful. She just really wanted to get married.
Because she really wanted a baby.
And she wanted to do it the right way.
I don't know what they had going on. All I know is Russell came back like, Robin, please take me back. And Robin, like a dummy, took him back. But he had Carolyn pregnant and he was denying it. It was just too much going on. And Robin was being a whole idiot behind this man.
She left him, and that's when we come to Michael.
Mm.
Now I had to write down Michael because I said I have a book like this. Light skin.
Yes.
Freckles. Redhead. We had to cut some corners, huh?
When I was reading this book, because I saw the movie first. So when I was reading this book and I read how Michael was in the book, I was pissed. The movie did Michael so wrong.
Made him a little bit more. They were a little bit more theatrical than what the book really was.
I'm talking about his whole characterization, like how he just turned out in the movie. Just it pissed me off because.
But I'm like, Robin is missing her blessing. Talking about some of these Zodiac, missing her blessing. Like, girl, who cares what Michael is? Again, living in this fantasy world. I'm like, the 90s even had the girls in the 90s delusional. That's how much love was going around. How much this idea of love and R&B, and they probably also the 70s, 80s. You know, the music was all soulful love. And had the girls delusional. The girls was delusional because we was chasing the feeling. Russell gives you the feeling? That's called trauma. That's called trauma. That's called needing therapy. I can't help it that I like pretty boys. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And then this is the thing that another narrative we talk about. Why can handsome men not be good men? You telling me you can't find a handsome man that's not broke? Handsome man that has a job, decent credit? And you're saying you're so superficial that if you see a man, here's the thing with her and Michael as well. I feel like she didn't even give herself a chance to like Michael. And I feel like she didn't even give herself a chance to get something better than Michael. Even when she left Michael, she got a copy and paste Russell. Like, we just went backwards instead of going forward. You got this caliber of a man, and instead of saying, okay, this is the caliber of man, I'm gonna get a man that's this in fine, you said, I'm gonna go back. And then have the nerve to be jealous. Crazy, because you never was jealous about Russell when he was running around with 13 women. You stayed with him. You stayed with him when you heard he had the baby. Want him to come back and marry you. But this man go out and it's the end of the world. You have to want better for yourself, Robin, at some point. You have to want better for yourself. And it's like Robin doesn't want better for herself. And the thing is, Robin is a smart girl. And you can even see through the book that she's lying to herself, that she knows what's going on. You can even tell in the book that, like, she's a very smart girl. She can get two and two together, but she's choosing not to because she wants this pretty man so bad. So bad that she would risk being with a married man. Risk her health.
Robin was just all around dumb when it came to love.
Which wasn't even really love. And then anytime a man be like, what did she say? Well, I gotta tell you exactly what she said. And then you want to say it's all lies. If it was all lies, you would have said, don't believe nothing she said, it's all lies. But you needed to know verbatim what she said. Come on, Robin.
If 2 and 2 is 4, and 4 and 4 is 8, and Russell is a cheater on Carolyn, and you stole him from Carolyn, and now he's gone back to Carolyn, what does that make Russell?
Everybody's story is adding up. But his. You already caught him in the lie. Okay, Robin.
Robin was dumb when it came to love, but what I will say is we also get introduced to her secondary storyline, which is her parents and their struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what really like had me more interested in what Robin had going on, was what was going on with her parents.
It's what redeemed her.
It
Because
is.
if she didn't have that, she wouldn't be Shelby. We wouldn't be rooting for her.
And
Huh?
honestly, I feel like that whole Robin and her parents storyline, it really kind of helps explain why she's so desperate to get a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not really the man that she wants, and it's really not even the baby that she wants. She just wants somebody who's gonna take care of her and make her feel like everything's gonna be all right.
Especially the way that her dad made her feel. Even if you see the relationship her dad, her mom had, how she speaks about it, it's like her wanting that feeling again, her wanting that for herself. And I like that too because it's like having all the women are well rounded, and it gives them a part of like it's something I always mention about Issa Rae. How Issa Rae has this thing that she loves where in Insecure none of her characters are innocent. Like none of the characters are innocent. And Waiting to Exhale, none of the characters are innocent either. Like all of them say some stuff. No, I would say Gloria is the most innocent, but all of them tend to say stuff that like shows you that they're not, because nobody's perfect. They have good parts and they got the parts that's kind of off. So you see that with Robin, she just child lost and won't love.
Yeah. So Robin, her parents, what's going on with them? Her mom is like, she's had 2 mastectomies. Her dad has Alzheimer's and it's really bad, to the point like he doesn't even know who Robin and her mom are anymore. And so she's just very stressed out about that because she feels like she's not doing enough to help them, because she really feels like she's not in a position to help them, because she's not really in a position to help herself either. She barely hanging on herself. She goes on this date with Michael. She tells him everything she wants, and Michael's like, I can give it to you. And then they sleep together, but it's not very enjoyable for Robin, and she's not attracted to Michael. But she's considering keeping him around because she's like, well, I can teach him how to be a better partner in that aspect, but he's doing okay in everything else. So, yeah. And then we get to Gloria.
So yeah, she has her son in her life, which is her main focus. She's a business owner, so like owning her business is a lot. She has no parents. She's from Oakland. She moved from Oakland because both of her parents died. Her mom died, and her dad, low key, sound like he died from heartbreak, but he drove down to Alabama and died behind the wheel because he fell asleep behind the wheel. So she's out there with just Bernie and everybody else. That's her family, her salon. And she has a few people at the salon that she likes. It's this girl, Sydney, who does the nails. It's another girl,
Desiree,
Desiree.
who a really good weed but a bad attitude.
And then she has two gay dudes that are in there. And they it's really everybody pretty cool, even though this is the 90s, even though the whole AIDS epidemic is going on. Nobody is being too crazy. You know, they have some crazy customers. Of course, Bernadine is a regular. That's how she got to know Bernadine is a child. She one of those, who do your hair? Because I do hair.
In
Just
church.
come to my salon.
In church.
In
Sitting next
church.
to Bernadine in church, like supposed to be listening to the sermon. Who do your
Now
hair?
this
It's all
baby hair.
it's dry. It looked like straw. Like,
So she didn't took Bernadine from here 2 inches.
and
Okay.
and let's not forget that the only reason Bernadine have inches is because John do not want her to have a short haircut.
Yep.
Bernie prefers short haircuts.
Yep. But John said he was gonna leave her. What kind of threat is that? Um, so yeah, of course, Gloria's the gray hairstylist, but she's insecure about her weight. Her weight is her big thing, and it's like she started getting even more and more bigger. And like even Tyreek
Her son,
would be. And let me tell you something, Tyreek's ain't no good. ain't no good. I no good. Her son's like, mommy, you see, she's slim too. You should try that drink.
Keep in mind, Tariq is like 16. At this point, you know how to talk to people, and you know that you should not be talking about people weight like that.
And Gloria has tried and tried and tried to get on a diet, and she's like, it just makes me more because diets don't actually work. It just makes me more upset, which is true. It's like the diet culture is not even a real thing. It's a lifestyle change that you make, not trying to cut everything out, and that's what messes people up. And that's what was happening basically, and everybody's making her feel bad about gaining weight to the point that men don't even like her. But there's something when we talk about it later on that I love that speaks to how things are geographically, how where you live plays a big part in other aspects of your life. Because mind you, they're in Phoenix. What kind of people are in Phoenix? So what kind of body shapes are going to be praised in Phoenix? If you get where I'm going with that. Gloria is also a part of this women's society. It's like a Black women's society.
Yeah, black
Um,
women on the move.
on the move, and they do different functions. So they have like this ladies night out, they have a scholarship for the kids, they have luncheons. It's all these things that they do in order to help the Black community. They do food raisers, they do fundraisers, giving out food, talking to mothers about breastfeeding. They also do like talking to the kids about drugs, just different things like that. So Gloria really pushes this, and this is something that all the girls are in up until this point.
Except Savannah,
Savannah, sorry,
because
except
Savannah
Savannah.
ain't got there yet. So yeah, Tariq is Gloria's son. He slick at the mouth. He's struggling in school to the point that Gloria think the boy's on drugs because she like, why's your grades like this? It's got to be drugs. It got to be crack.
Come to find out,
Come to find, it's not crack. It's something else. But she doesn't know how to deal with him, and she's been raising him on her own because his father is part time. He shows up for like an hour or two and he disappears, and Tariq is tired of it because he's like, that man is not my father. He doesn't even spend no time with me. And the reason it's like that is because Gloria got pregnant with him when she was in college. And she basically was like, I'm not gonna force you to be a father. I just ask that you come and visit him every now and then so that he knows who his father is. And her ex-boyfriend David agreed to that. And so David comes around and sees Tariq like every once in a blue moon. And it got to the point that Tariq was asking, when is he going to finally get a full time dad? And Gloria's like, well, God got to give me a man first. And so Tariq started praying for Gloria to get a man.
and
It's
then he gave up when God didn't give her a man. He said, I'm done. Because you told me God was going. You told me if I pray hard enough, that's why we got to watch what we tell kids. Because you told me if I pray hard enough, and I try my best, God will give it to me.
see, it was a lot of
It's not
stuff.
gonna work.
It was a lot of stuff that was left out of that explanation. But you know what? I don't. It was a lot of stuff left out of
It's on
explanation.
the
But you know, I'm not surprised because Gloria gives me Sunday only Christian, unfortunately. But yeah, Tariq not doing well in school. David is a part-time father, and the last time David was there, he basically stayed at the house to make Gloria feel comfortable because she was lonely. So Gloria, she whipping up some food in the kitchen, and she gets on Tariq about his grades, and then David comes over, and Gloria's like, "I'm gonna snag him with this food." David comes over, Tariq leave the house because he don't want to be there. Gloria gets to talking to David, and David's like, "Where's Tariq?" Gloria's like, "Oh, he's out. He's not gonna be back till tomorrow." So David like, "Okay, I'm a head out." And Gloria's like, "Oh no, you don't gotta head out. You can stay." And David is basically like, "Well, Gloria, you remember how last time I wasn't really feeling you like that? Yeah. Um, I don't like women. I like men."
You ain't gotta play like that. She's like, if you don't want to be with me, child, you just can say that. You ain't gotta play like that. But this man is dead serious. He's dead serious. So she's like, oh Lord. Now she don't know what to do because the one man that visits 2 times, once every 2 years, to give her a little something is not
Not
gonna be
even
around to give her any attention.
after that, we get to Bernadine. We find out that Bernadine got home because Philip, one of Gloria's hairstylists, he He caught her coming out the gas station. He was like, Bernadine, why is you out here with these rollers in your head? So he
Never
he
seen her look so bad.
he was like, I ain't never seen her look like that in public. So he carried her home. He got her to bed. He took care of her kids. He made sure she was straight. And then after she was straight, he went home. And so Bernie, she's like, I just need some time away. So she takes her kids to her mama's house. Them kids hate going to their grandmother's house. I have never met a child that hates going to their grandmother's house.
Because they spoiled. Because they spoiled. That's why they hate going to their grandma's house. Yeah, she is a little bit mean, but because they're spoiled.
So she take them kids up there. They getting on her nerve throughout the whole car ride. But she's not really paying them no mind because she's just thinking about how could John leave me for a white woman. She take them kids up there. She lies and tell her mom, I'm going to Sedona, but really she going back home to have the house to herself. She gets to that house, she start looking around the house, and she loses it. She decides to take all of John's stuff, put it in the front yard, and burn it up.
When the kids come back, she like, oh, I got an idea.
Hmm.
Yard sale.
Sold
Sells
all of
everything.
John's stuff for $1, including his car that she did not burn up. His prized possession, $1. So after Bernadine burnt up all that man's clothes and sold all his stuff, Gloria, Gloria, she gets up, she go to church, she come back home. Tariq, Tariq just got home late, and Gloria's like, "Where have you been?" And he's like, "Oh, I was out with the boys." And she's like, she pulls down his neck, his he got a turtleneck on, so she put down the collar. She like, "This don't look like you was out with the boys." One of the boys did this.
Yeah.
And he got a hickey on his neck, and he like, oh no, that's from Michelle who lived down the street. He reveals that he is sleeping with people. He has slept with about 9 girls at this point, and Gloria is
She's like,
like, she's like 9, my
that's
baby,
summer.
9 over the summer. So
It's
she's like,
December.
okay, well, sir, you need to. Do you be using protection? Tariq is like, sometimes, and Gloria's like, wrong answer. You need to be using it all the time because I'm not raising no babies.
She said, you can catch anything out here. And she was like, don't believe no girl when they say they own the pill. He was like, but they said they on the pill. You believe that? And if anybody knows firsthand about accidents, it is her. You
Yeah.
might want to listen to a credible source here, sir.
So that ends with Gloria. She looking out the window. She like, I can't believe my son even got somebody, and I'm sitting here lonely. So she lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So then Savannah is having trouble moving because her girl that was supposed to help her flaked because her boyfriend was like, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be going down to Phoenix with Savannah. So, and then she can't get rid of her condo. So she gets a call from Lionel. Lionel invites her out to dinner. And while they out to dinner, Lionel offers to help her to move. And Savannah's like, well, what's the worst that could happen? He's cute and you know what? He can help. So she agrees to let Lionel help her move down to Phoenix. And keep in mind, she driving down to Phoenix.
So she's like, she goes to the house. I thought you had a Jeep. I sold the Jeep a while back. What about the business? Oh, I'm not doing that no more. I'm doing something else. Okay, so what you trying to get into? Selling pork. You're a vegetarian. So she's realizing this man is a fraud, but she's like, you know what? We're gonna drive. Get in her car and drive.
On the way down to Phoenix, that man used her toothbrush.
Oh, I
That
forgot
man
about that.
at the gas station, she gave him money to get gas, and he ain't give her change. They got in that hotel. First of all, Savannah had her cat with her. The man hates cats. They get to that hotel room. Savannah wants to get them separate rooms. Oh no, why don't we just get a room together? Savannah, like, she actually does get them separate rooms, but he spend all his time in her room. They get in that bed and sleep together, and that man is like, grr, grr, like he is a darn animal. The whole car ride was just terrible. So Savannah was like, you know what? As soon as we get to Phoenix, you are gone.
I'm getting this man back home the first chance I get. Okay. I'm dropping them off at a motel. So when they get in the car to leave, she's like, yeah, baby, you're going to a motel. Him, a motel. Yeah, we getting you up out of here. She goes, this is how serious y'all know she is. She gets to Phoenix and goes straight to a travel agent. She goes straight. They don't go stop at Bernadine's. They don't go stop for food. They don't go sightseeing. No, she said, we are going to this travel agency. How much is it? It's $200 some. This grown 41-year-old businessman tells her, how about this? You give me the $200. I'll stay in a cheap hotel, stay out here to meet my pork dealer, and catch a bus back to Denver. How about that? Savannah's like, you cannot be serious right now. But he was dead serious. So she said, you know what? Go ahead. He's still trying to, we can see each other. So okay. Yeah, maybe. Knowing she is not ever going to see that man again. She is tired of that man.
So she gave that man a fake number. She gave that man $200. She dipped, and we never heard from Lionel again. We don't know.
Now,
We don't know if he was successful in the pork business.
and we don't want to find out because he out of control. So she gets to come to town in now, bro. This is Bernadine tells her what's going on, and so she's also getting a lawyer as well to work on what's going on with her and John because baby, it's a lot of hoopla. So the lawyer's like, hey, it's some stuff not adding up, baby girl. So go down there to that bank and start pulling that money out. Because we don't know what he's about. Turn out he already drained the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Already took the money out the bank. So she ain't got no money really. So this is where she goes up to the place and she's like walking there. Where's my husband? My husband here? Okay, cool. What's her name?
Kathleen.
Kathleen. She's like, can I have some time with my husband? It just came out. She just slapped him like, can I have some time with my husband, please? They go at it. He's like, well, you played dirty first. You got rid of my stuff. So if that's how you want to play it, let's play it. Even though no, you were gonna move this way regardless. You're using it as an excuse. So she like, you know what? That's fine, baby boy. Do what you do. Cause guess what? It's gonna come back around. We're gonna get all of it. That man offers her a little piece of change, which is nothing compared to what she's really owed. So she leaves out, and that's when around the time where she snips. Because she's tired of it. She's tired of having the hair, and she looks good doing it. Philip cuts her hair for her. She does it, she calls it on purpose because she didn't want to see Gloria. So she's been dodging the girls on purpose too because she doesn't want to see them. So she's like, Bernie, why you didn't tell me? Bernie's like, girl, I need time to myself. It's been 11 years. I just need some time.
Come to find out, before Savannah even got there, Bernie's daughter, Onika, is like, Mom, Dad is dating this new lady, Kathleen. Bernie's like, how you know Kathleen? Oh, I saw them kiss.
So when she was like, oh, me and Daddy not gonna be together no more. She's explaining to them the divorce. And she's like, oh, I know who the new woman is. And they're like, who? And she's like, it's Kathleen. And then Junior's like, how you know that? She's like, because I saw them kiss on the mouth. And Bernie whipping that car, trying not to cry. Get out of my car. Get out of my car. Because Nika Nika, you're a rapper.
Look.
Yeah, like a rat.
The baby was 6, okay? She was like 6.
Child. And that's how you know John was doing too much. Because how did the baby see that?
Robin, she's still not feeling Michael. And she wants to drop him, but she doesn't want to make him feel like she used him for his money and stuff. Because Michael done dropped a whole lot of money on this girl. He done paid a whole lot of stuff off for her. And he even offered to pay off more stuff for her. But she's like, no, I don't want you to be spending all your money on me. But Michael doesn't mind because to him, he's like, I have bagged a baddie. I have bagged Robin. Like she is like the baddie in the insurance department. I have bagged this girl. A guy like me has bagged her.
Baby, he has it. He's not worried. The money is going to come back to him. The money's coming back. So Michael is also not, she's telling Michael her list. He's like, okay, I got that and that and that. That's all you want? Girl, that's all I can do all of that. That's easy. Michael is not tripping on nothing. At this point, she asked him for nothing that he don't have already. So he's like, whatever you need. But who she's still stuck on because she doesn't feel the sparks. It's this idea.
Yeah, she's still stuck on Russell. So because she's still stuck on Russell, she's like, you know what, Michael? When she sits him down, Michael's like, is it me? Am I still not pleasing you? Robin's like, yeah, you're a nice guy, Michael, but you're just not the right guy for me. And so basically, Michael's like, well, all right. Well, when you finally decide what you want, give me a call, basically leaving the door open. And so Robin, she decides to go down and see her parents. Her mom is really tired, really stressed out. Her dad's Alzheimer is very bad. He does not remember nothing. He don't know nothing. This time he recognizes her, but it's like it's not in the way that she would have wanted it. And so he like thinks he's about to go to work. So he's trying to get out the house. Robin and her mom trying to keep him in the house. And so basically, Robin ends up staying the night. And when she wakes up in the morning, her dad is leaning over her. He's like, I love you so much. When she gets back home, she meets Savannah over the phone. They plan the girls' night out.
Oh.
Bernadine called Robin to fill her in. And then Russell interrupted the phone call and was like, I want to see you. And Robin's like, sure, come over. Bernie, I gotta go.
Robin picks up Savannah because they live like down the street from each other.
Yeah, so Robin go over there. She looking at Savannah house. She like, Savannah house is not well put together. All the patterns and stuff is ugly. All the art is ugly. But you know what? If she likes it, I love it.
So we get that perspective of being able to see how Savannah has style. And that's where we also find out that Robin has no style. And even she knows that she doesn't really have any style. She's getting better, but she doesn't really have any tact to her. One part I found particularly funny because I do press on nails is where she said she's doing her own press on nails. And Bernadine was like, girl, you look a mess. So that's why she started getting her nails done. And I found it so funny because if y'all don't know, I do like my own press on nails. And this weekend, like last week, I had got my nails. I got my nails professionally done. So I'm like, okay, shots are being fired right now. And I really think it came off the jealous tip because she was like, Bernie just talks so big about how she be collected, how she do this and that. And I feel like to hear Bernie talk so well about somebody, I feel like it rubbed her it rubbed her the wrong way a little bit. Or even if it didn't rub her the wrong way, it was like, okay, if you can impress Bernie, I got these high expectations. But we all know you a little bit, your taste is not to be trusted. So I low-key feel like her apartment probably was fine. Yeah.
So they go to this resort for this mixer that's being put together by this group called the Stock Exchange Group. And it's just these black men, they done put together this group and they trying to network and stuff. And you know what? I felt Savannah in that scene when she was like, why every time we come together do it got to be a networking opportunity? Why can't we just come together and have fun?
I want it to be a gala because it's a gala. Or even if it is, like, can we do a little fundraising or something? Like, can we do something other than just networking? Like, especially because y'all know y'all not in here to really network. Y'all know y'all are not coming in them ball gowns. And we're not in ball gowns. We try to get dressed up with your future and your orange lipstick to go in there and hand out business cards. No, I did that. So Savannah ends up meeting the girls because they go out to the luncheon, not the luncheon, the little dinner night or whatever. That's where she meets Robin. She finds out Robin talks a lot.
And Savannah, the whole time she listening, she like, this girl is really dumb. Like, she really made it to this. She made it 32 years of life being this dumb.
She peeping the Phoenix scene, but it ain't really given. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna give Phoenix a year. Because if it's anything like Denver, I'm getting up out of here. If the man's is not calling my line, I'm getting out. So that's what happened. And when they're at the luncheon, her and Robin are not they're not really seeing, not the luncheon, but the little dinner thing, they're not really seeing men that they like.
And Robin started telling Savannah about her life.
It was very much giving, if Bernie wasn't my friend, this would be a whole different conversation. It was very much giving, if I never had a conversation with you outside of this, and I did not know that you actually had a brain, I would not speak to you again. Because Robin is the epitome of love makes you do stupid things. Like, she's the epitome of like, and then this is the thing. What is there to love about Russell? That's what I never got throughout the whole book. I never got it. I never understood it. Robin was giving desperate the whole time. She was giving. If she didn't give me Shelby vibes, I really would hate her. I really would. I really would. But because you know what? Even Shelby wouldn't even take that. She wouldn't even take that.
She wouldn't.
It's a lot of books where you read stuff, but yeah, Robin was a unique character, baby, because she took a lot, especially to be so like described to be, so beautiful, but also like you come from a loving family, and you is Russell gonna get her a lake house? How is Russell gonna get her this lake house? How is Russell going to be able to let her be a stay-at-home mom? How is Russell paying for these vacations? He can't pay for his own car. But she wanted to jump and run so fast for Russell. But she didn't have good taste in men. So Savannah honestly was ready to leave at that gala. She was like, it's time for me to go. This girl's stupid. They got me at this networking event. And the man is, and the man ain't manning. It's not what I came here for.
And she even was like, I mean, I hope this not as good as it gets. And they was like, yeah, this is as good as it gets. That's why she's like,
A
I'm gonna
year.
give it a year. I'm gonna give it a year. Bernadine and Gloria get there, and Bernadine she meets Herbert. Well, no, she introduces Herbert, a married sports agent, and
She's
she go over there and she start dancing, getting her groove on.
She said, why
And
y'all on the dance? Why is y'all sitting there? Y'all behind? Get on the dance low.
and they all like, oh, nobody's asked us to dance. I'm like, go dance with each other.
Okay, miss, it's the 90s.
Go have a good
No,
go have a good time.
Because every 2 seconds, the times are different. Times are different. It's the 90s. It's the 90s.
You
But
know
you can't be
what?
on the dance floor.
Let me say this. Let me say this. These four did not want to have fun. They didn't. Every time they went out, they talking about some, oh, it's boring, it's nothing to do. Cause y'all just sitting around. Y'all are literally just sitting around.
Those three ain't want to have fun. Because Bernie said, I'm going to get on that dance floor. She said, y'all can sit up. And she knew she was out of line. Y'all see Michael? Michael over there. You said hey to him, Robin. Like, he go dance for him, girl.
Yeah,
Bernie was
Robin over there giving the evil eye because Michael done popped up with another woman after Robin just told him, oh, hey, Michael, you're not really pleasing me the way I want to be pleased, and you're not a bad guy. I just need some time to figure things out apart from you. So she told the man, we just need some space. You're not off the roster yet.
gave
I just need some space. And Michael's like, okay, well, when you figure your life out, give me a call. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go find me another woman and go out and have me a good old funky time.
And that's the thing about Savannah that I love hate is, I know we was just talking about Robin, but it's like, if anybody should have been with the new wave, like feminist, like Robin gives the energy of like, I'm shooting my shot at men. But also, she does give classy vibes. But also, I feel like why she didn't do it too, which I just thought about, is because in the book she keeps bringing up this men are always intimidated. Because I'm like, Robin, you always said it's nice, it's 90s. Walk up to one of these dudes. But I think she probably, at least for her, it was probably like, I don't want to intimidate nobody. Cause yeah, I walk up on Whitney Houston, I'm gonna be real intimidated. And I don't care what the little description give. So Whitney Houston is Savannah in my head. Okay,
No,
gives the
I was
whole
reading this.
essence.
I was reading this
Like
book.
she gives the whole essence.
I was reading this book. I'm like, I can't even picture Terry's descriptions because I'm just using the movie cast. Forget what she wrote. We just gonna use the cast. And this is the only book I did that with.
It's for me, especially after it was, and then this how you know we out of control. Probably because once the description stopped matching what I wanted the characters, like what the movie characters look like, I stopped paying attention to them. And I don't care what color nobody. I don't care. I don't care. Once they stopped matching up, I said, oh, okay, next.
And so of course all the girls they not feeling it, so they all leave except Bernie. Bernie stayed and got her groove on, and she had her a good time.
As she should.
And so of course Robin, she's feeling all jealous because Michael dared to go out with another woman. And Savannah is, of course, she's like a year. Phoenix, you
Mm-hmm.
get a year. And so of course Robin, she gets home, she get home, she's like, you know what, I'm lonely. So she calls Michael. Michael don't pick up. She calls Russell. Russell's with another woman that used to harass her. So Robin is feeling lonely. Savannah, I don't know what Savannah got going on, and Gloria is feeling lonely too. And Bernadine is like, I'm gonna sleep with her. And I'm like, Lord, Bernadine, don't do it.
When we get to around this part, around the second or third time we're meeting each girl, I'm like, Terry said this book gonna be exactly what I want it to be. Not just this book, the movie is going to be exactly what I want it to be. She knew what she was doing, and this is one of the few times we've been able to see the translation that we've seen, because this is rare. I'm not gonna lie to you. What Terry has been able to do is rare. It is a 90s author. It's a Black author's or author, period. It's their dream to be able to do what Terry did.
And do it so well.
And do it so well.
So yeah, so Gloria. Gloria is over here, she lonely, and she's going through it with Tariq. Because Tariq done been expelled from school for gang-like behavior. And the gang-like
And they're gonna
behavior,
describe a gang.
the gang-like behavior
Gonna...
was him and his friends who were Black and Latino wearing matching shirts and having matching handkerchiefs.
He said we just all hang together.
And this boy really
Child,
said,
ain't
we
nothing.
just sit together at lunch. That's it. We just sit together at lunch.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Talking about
sorry.
something, it's a freedom of expression.
And the fact, Gloria, and then that's another thing about, how Black woman is. Anyway, is she, so why you ain't told me this before? Because now you popping up talking about you getting brought. You had him. Yeah, this been going on for like a semester. A semester? And you just not telling me. You telling me this man been messing with you for a semester. You just not telling me. Crazy. The thing about Gloria that I wanted to mention too is everybody is like, get a man, be confident, get a man, you need a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
While all of y'all are simultaneously putting her down. In the telling her to get a man, you're actively putting her down. While you're telling her she's beautiful, you're beautiful, just lose like 20 pounds. Like y'all are sitting there like, even though you big as a well, you could still get a man. Like you ain't gotta be alone. I want to. Everybody is like, I'm rooting for you to get a man. I'm rooting for you to get a man. I'm rooting for you to get a man. But you don't need no more snack cakes. What makes you think? What makes you think that that's gonna make me feel like a man wants me? That's one. Are we still comparing? Because I'm about to start comparing. I'm about to start comparing the movies to the book. I'm like, that's one thing I'm grateful that the movie kept out. I'm grateful they kept all of that to themselves and they let it be Gloria's own self, how she saw herself, and not the people around her also like demeaning her.
So Tariq ended up being right because Gloria called up there and the principal was being racist, so she had to curse the principal out. But she still
Mm-hmm.
grounded him for not telling her. And I'm like,
Because this has been going on for how long?
that's just like a black mama. That's just like a black mama. It's like you may have been right, but you still in trouble.
Because you waited this long to tell me about this man. And now I gotta do the food that I should have
Even
did 2 weeks ago, a month ago.
even when you're not the one in the wrong, you still in trouble.
Because they gonna find a reason. You got suspended. I don't care what listen, that's one thing I feel like black parents, and we might be losing, is they don't really care why you got in trouble. It's the fact that you got in trouble. You better have a good excuse for getting in trouble at school. They don't care why you got suspended. You got suspended. Like,
And so Gloria, she cannot deal with Tariq, so she gets on the phone with Bernie. Bernie is going through it because John is not doing what he's supposed to do. And so Gloria decides to go over there to see Bernie, and she tells Tariq, when I call this house, you better pick up this phone.
Mm-hmm.
She said, when I call this house, you better pick up this phone, because if you don't pick up this phone, you're going to have issues. So Gloria goes over there to see Bernie. They get to talking. John Jr., he is not taking the divorce well. Onika, she acting like she ain't got no sense because she's super excited about Kathleen for some reason. And Bernie is, of course, she then went through with her plan to sleep with her. And so they talk, and then Gloria, she calls the house. And Tariq don't answer the phone. So Gloria's like, this boy is about to lose his life. He about to go meet Jesus early.
I'm sorry. I want y'all to think about the times. This was written in the 90s, the early. I want you to think about the times and think about how much of his life he risked. Because when your mama said, pick up that phone, you picked up that phone.
Even now, when your mama says, pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. You pick up that phone. I'm about to call you in 30 minutes, and you better be what I said you were supposed to be.
And he ain't pick up that phone, so Glory go home. She's like, he's not here. So she go upstairs. She hear noises coming from Tariq's room. She opens the door. He's with a girl his age.
18.
But because Gloria is grown, it's a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
But the girl's his age. Let me clear that up. He in the room with the little girl. They doing something they not supposed to be doing. And Gloria is like, what in the world is going? Get out of my house. What are you doing? Get out of my house. So the girl, she leave. Gloria was so in
Child.
shock. She was so in shock at what she was looking at. She ain't know what was going on.
Child.
And then after she lost her mind, here comes Tariq. Mom, sorry. And then to make matters worse, when Gloria asks him, why did you not pick up the phone? Why do you have this girl in my house? Tariq gonna be like, well, you told me not to leave, so I didn't leave. I brought her here. Sir, you are already knocking on death's door, and your mom is about to push you through it.
When I was reading it, I'm like, yes, you sorry for this. You sorry, you sorry for it. And then it was so this is why I love black people, like black books, but Black characters written by Black people because you literally hear your mama voice. You sorry about this. You sorry about everything. Sorry, sorry,
Sorry, just like your father.
and you just you. It's like yeah.
And so Gloria, she
That's
going
something
off
that's like.
about him being sorry about everything, and she accidentally reveals that Tariq's father is no longer interested in women.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tariq is like, well, at least it don't run in the family.
A menace. Between this is the Onika was a menace, but she was a menace unintentionally. She was just a kid who was happy. That boy right there, that boy was a true menace. That boy was a true menace who loved a daredevil, loved risking his life. That's who he loved risking his life. Because he always had something smart to say. You are knocking.
At this point, you're not knocking. The door is open, and Gloria's foot is at your
You
back, about to kick you through it.
you literally, mom sorry, mom sorry, mom sorry, 2 seconds ago, and then haha, it don't run in the family. And this, sir, is why you're always grounded. This is the exact reason why you're always in trouble. This is how you got grounded in the first place. Yeah. Because you're a menace.
So then Savannah and Robin, they meet up and they rant about men and work. Savannah, she's just looking forward to the media conference that's coming up. And so then Robin's like, "Ooh, girl, I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat." And Savannah's like, "I'm not hungry. Go by yourself." And Robin's like, "I'm not going by myself." And Savannah's like, "Why?" And Robin's like, "Because everybody gonna be looking at me crazy for eating out by myself. They gonna think I don't have a man."
Where did you build this self-confidence? Because we met your parents. We've met your parents, and they're not giving the vibes. So how did the vibes get to you? How did they get to you, Robin? Because just like the rest of us, because I don't like eating alone either. So at first it was like, oh, okay, why you can't eat alone? None of us like eating alone. Like not none of us, but some people don't like eating alone. It's like, okay, cool. But when you get the reason, Robin, I mean not Robin, Savannah, girl, this is the 90s. Girl, it don't matter if it's the 90s or whenever it is. It don't matter when it what time of day it is. That's some craziness. I can't go outside by myself because people gonna think I don't have a man. You don't. And you don't though. You don't have like they're gonna think correctly because you don't have a man. You don't. Even when you thought you had a man, you had a child. You had a user. You didn't have a man. So this is why, and that's what Savannah get. That's what Savannah get. Because why you keep wanting to talk men with this girl and you already know how she is.
Because what do Robin got else to talk about? She's not going to talk about her parents because that's too sad. And she's not going to want to talk about her job because she don't really like her job like that.
And she don't got a life outside of men and them. Outside of men and them. I think she was so like, Robin is like, she's like the girl that never grew up. She's like the little girl who like dreams of being a princess and rescued and just has never grown out of being a princess and being rescued. Like, but knight in shining armor. Your knight in shining armor. Russell can't afford no armor. How he go? What he gonna do? He can't afford the horse to come get you. How? If we're gonna be a princess, you gotta look for a king. You gotta look for a knight. Something.
Savannah, she just can't with Robin, so she goes home. And she gets a call from Kenneth. Kenneth is her ex-boyfriend who is now married with a child. He says he's coming out to Phoenix and he wants to see her. Savannah is like, "How did you get my number?" Because the only people who know I'm out here is my mama and my sister.
So which one?
And so Savannah, she's still hung up on Kenneth because things ended between them because she did not think he loved her. They broke up for a stupid reason. And she was too scared to
Childish.
define their relationship. Instead of just
And he
talking,
was too.
instead of just talking to each other and having communication, they just let the relationship end because they was too scared to define what they were.
How you break up with somebody and y'all was get together?
That's the sad part. They wasn't even together. They were still feeling each other out.
It was like they rarely hung out. And he was like, well, because you never called me.
Yeah, he like, you never called me because I just assumed you had like other guys that you were going out with. And Savannah's like, well, I didn't. I'm like, well, how is he supposed to know that, Savannah? You
That's
didn't
what it's
tell
supposed
him.
to be.
But yeah, so Savannah's like, only two people know I'm out here. So she called her mama. Savannah's mama was probably the second most irksome character in this book. You know what? No, I'm gonna make her the fourth most
Good
irksome
me.
person in this book. The fourth most irksome. The only people who were more irksome to me were Robin, Russell, and John. Savannah's mama was so desperate for Savannah to have a man that she was willing to throw her daughter at this man who was married. Talking about some, oh, well, he's not happy in the relationship, so why not give it a chance?
Savannah, Mom, and Robin would have got along real well. They would have got along real well.
Why are you so desperate for your daughter to
Yes.
have a man? Because it's not for grandchildren, because you already got like about 4 or 5 of them through Sheila. What is the reason, Savannah's
Oh, well, now
mama?
I'm getting a new one.
So Savannah, mama, she being irksome. She's like, give Kenneth a chance. He's not happy in his marriage. And we get an update on Savannah's siblings. Her sister is pregnant again. Her brother is out of jail. Her other brother is in the army, so he might be going to war. It's just a lot going on. And Savannah's like basically holding the family up on her shoulders.
Even though they barely want to talk to her.
Still to come on Read with Ronald.
This scene could have possibly sent us back 2 decades or pushed us forward 2 decades.
He told this girl that he was feeling her. He told this girl that he felt like he had hit the lottery with her. I should have known it was too good to be true right then and there.
That man ran straight game on us all. I'm going to give you the blueprint and I'm going to watch you feel it trying to recreate it because you're not doing it your way. You got to do stuff your way.
Anna, I have a special surprise for you to thank you.
Okay.
So just wait here while I go get it.
You ain't tell me nothing about this.